My wife left me after getting in shape. Now she wants to come back because she's pregnant with twins. One is mine, the other isn't. How is that even possible, you ask? It can happen, and it did. I don't know why I'm writing this. Maybe I need validation. Maybe I just need to get it all out. My life has completely flipped upside down in the past few months, and I'm still trying to process everything. I, 32M, was married to my wife, 33F, for 4 years. We had what I thought was a great marriage. I was madly in love with her, and for the most part, we were happy. But in 2022, things started to change. She fell into depression, mostly because of her job. I knew what that felt like. I'd been through my own dark phase before we got married. The only thing that pulled me out of it was going to the gym, so I suggested she try the same. At first, she wasn't enthusiastic, but she agreed. We started going together. I couldn't be there as often as I used to because my workload increased after a promotion, but I did my best to support her. She used to be a little chubby, which I loved, but after a few months, the changes in her body became undeniable. She slimmed down, toned up, and for the first time in a long while, she seemed happier, more confident, more alive. I was happy for her. I really was. But then that confidence started to shift into something else. She began staying out late. At first, it was harmless, just a few meetups with friends. Then it became clubbing, house parties, and social events where I wasn't invited. She completely stopped doing her share of household chores, brushing it off as being too busy or too tired. And then, one night, I saw her flirting with another man. We were at a social event together, and she was different, bolder, almost like she had forgotten I was even in the room. She laughed at his jokes in a way she hadn't laughed at mine in months. She leaned in close when he spoke, touching his arm casually. It wasn't obvious, but it was enough. Enough for me to know. I confronted her later that night. I told her she was riding high on her new confidence, making rash decisions based on an emotional high. I tried to explain that I understood because I had once been the same way. Her response? She laughed in my face. She told me I was insecure, that she had settled when she married me, that she now realized she could do better. That night, something inside me broke. The woman who had once been the sweetest person I knew, the person I had supported through her darkest days, had completely changed. A month later, she filed for divorce. I didn't fight it. There was nothing left to fight for. We had similar incomes, no kids, and the only shared asset was a joint bank account, which was easy to split. The house was my mother's, so she couldn't touch it. For months, she was just gone. I had no idea where she was, who she was with, or what her life looked like after she walked away. She didn't reach out, not even once, until last week. My phone rang, and when I saw her name, I almost didn't pick up, but curiosity got the better of me. I answered. She was crying, and the first thing she said, I made a mistake. I questioned everything I thought I knew about love and trust. In an attempt to make sense of it all, I buried myself in research. That's when I learned about heteropaternal superfecundation, rare but documented. The logical part of me understood the science, but my heart struggled with the betrayal. Then came a message from her. I know I've hurt you deeply, and I don't expect forgiveness. But for the sake of our child, can we find a way to navigate this together? Her words clung to me. The thought of becoming a father was both terrifying and exhilarating, yet the circumstances were far from ideal. Could I co-parent with someone who would shatter my trust? Could I separate my feelings for her from my responsibilities as a father? Ignoring the situation wasn't an option. As the weeks passed, I knew I had to face it head on. With a heavy heart, I agreed to meet her, determined to talk things through with clarity and resolve. I wanted closure. Instead, my life spiraled into a nightmare. At first, it was just phone calls, 1 or 2 a day, pleading to talk. Then it escalated, dozens of calls, all hours of the day and night. My phone became a source of dread, vibrating constantly with her name flashing on the screen. When I stopped answering, the messages started. Long, rambling voicemails that bounced between desperate apologies and sharp accusations. Texts that started with "I'm sorry" and ended with "you left me no choice." The emotional whiplash was exhausting. One evening, as I sat trying to distract myself with a book, a loud knock echoed through my apartment. I opened the door to find her standing there, eyes red and swollen from crying. "We need to talk," she insisted, pushing past me before I could react. "This isn't appropriate," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She scoffed. "Appropriate? You think any of this is appropriate? I'm carrying your child." I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. "And I told you, I need time." "Time," she snapped. "While you take your time, I'm here, pregnant and alone. The argument exploded from there. Accusations flew like daggers. She accused me of abandoning her, of shirking my responsibilities. I countered with the truth, her betrayal, her choices, the ones that led us here. The fight reached a breaking point. She stormed out, leaving me standing in the wreckage of what was left of our relationship. But the worst was yet to come. A few days later, I got an email from HR. Someone had sent a detailed message accusing me of misconduct, attaching photos of me at social events with friends, completely innocent moments twisted into something nefarious. I knew exactly who was behind it. Furious, I confronted her. How could you jeopardize my job? She didn't even deny it. I needed to get your attention. By trying to ruin my career, her expression was eerily calm. You left me no choice. That phrase again. It had become her mantra. And it didn't stop there. She started showing up at my workplace, making scenes that left my colleagues whispering. She contacted my friends, spinning lies, painting herself as the victim of my supposed cruelty. My life, both personal and professional, was under siege. The woman I once loved had become a relentless force of chaos. Desperate, I sought legal advice. I was told to document everything, every call, every message. It was the only way to regain some control. But at night, when I lay awake staring at the ceiling, I couldn't help but wonder, how had we gotten here? How had the line between love and hate blurred so completely? And then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, it did. One evening, a familiar knock came at my door. When I opened it, she stood there again, tears streaming down her face. "We need to talk," she said, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. "This isn't a good time," I replied, trying to stay composed. Her voice broke. "You don't understand. He left me. I'm all alone." A wave of emotions crashed over me. Anger, pity, exhaustion. Her new partner, the father of the other twin, had abandoned her. "And what do you expect from me?" I asked, struggling to keep my frustration in check. "I need your support," she pleaded, "for the sake of our child." I took a deep breath. Despite everything, despite the betrayal, the chaos, the destruction, she was still carrying my child. And that meant something. A part of me felt responsible. But trust? That had been shattered beyond repair. "I can't just forget everything that happened," I said, my voice thick with hurt. "I'm not asking you to," she whispered. "But we need to find a way forward. For the baby." I questioned everything I thought I knew about love and trust. In an attempt to understand, I dove into research and learned about heteropaternal superfecundation, a rare but documented phenomenon. The science made sense, but did nothing to soothe the storm raging inside me. Logic told me one thing. My heart, another. Then she reached out. "I know I've hurt you deeply," she wrote. "I don't expect forgiveness. But for the sake of our child, can we find a way to navigate this together?" Her words lingered in my mind. The idea of becoming a father terrified and exhilarated me in equal measure. But could I co-parent with someone who had shattered my trust? Could I separate my feelings for her from my responsibility to my child? Ignoring it wasn't an option. The weeks passed, and I realized I had to confront this head-on. With a heavy heart, I agreed to meet her. I needed clarity, a plan, some kind of direction. I hoped that conversation would bring some semblance of peace. I was wrong. Instead, my life spiraled into a nightmare. It started with incessant calls. At first, once or twice a day, then dozens. My phone became a source of dread, buzzing relentlessly with her name, flashing on the screen. When I stopped answering, the messages started, long, rambling voicemails, flipping between apologies and accusations. "I'm sorry," one would start. Then, "You left me no choice." Then came the unexpected knock at my door. I opened it to find her standing there, eyes red and swollen from crying. "We need to talk," she insisted, pushing past me into the apartment. "This isn't appropriate," I said, struggling to keep my voice steady. "Appropriate?" she scoffed. "You think any of this is appropriate? I'm carrying your child." I took a deep breath, trying to hold on to my composure. "And I told you I need time." "Time?" she shouted. "While you take your time, I'm here, pregnant and alone." The argument escalated, words flung like daggers. She accused me of abandoning her. I threw back the truth that her betrayal had led us here. The shouting match ended with her storming out, leaving me rattled but resolute. And then she made things worse. Days later, I got an email from HR. Someone had sent a report accusing me of misconduct, attaching photos of me at social events, twisting innocent interactions into something sinister. I knew immediately who was behind it. Furious, I confronted her. "How could you jeopardize my job?" She didn't even deny it. I needed to get your attention. By trying to ruin my career, I was incredulous. You left me no choice, she repeated, her new favorite mantra. It didn't stop there. She showed up at my workplace, causing scenes that left my colleagues whispering. She reached out to my friends, spreading lies about our relationship, painting herself as the abandoned, heartbroken victim. I felt trapped, my personal and professional life under siege. Desperate, I sought legal advice. I was told to document everything, every call, every message, every unannounced visit. It was a small comfort, a shred of control in an otherwise uncontrollable situation. But then, another knock on my door. This time, she wasn't angry. She was broken. He left me, she whispered. I'm all alone. A wave of emotions crashed over me. Anger, pity, confusion. Her new partner, the father of the other twin, had abandoned her. And now, she was turning to me. What do you expect from me? I asked, my voice carefully measured. I need your support, she pleaded. For the sake of our child. I was torn. Despite everything, she was still carrying my baby. And no matter how much I wanted to protect myself from further pain, I couldn't ignore that. After a long, sleepless night, I made a decision. I invited her to move in during the pregnancy. Not for her, not for us, but for my child. Living together again was complicated. The familiarity of sharing a space clashed with the unresolved betrayal between us. I couldn't shake the nagging thought that maybe, just maybe, this was her plan all along. To find a way back in. And then there was the other baby, the reminder of what she had done. Could I accept and care for both children equally? Could I look at that other baby and not see the face of her infidelity? Every day, those questions haunted me. We went to prenatal appointments together, tried to present a united front. From the outside, we probably looked like a reconciled couple. But inside, I was drowning in uncertainty. Now, I find myself here, turning to you. Did I make the right choice? Am I setting myself up for more heartache? Or is this the path to healing, to providing a stable life for my child? The future is uncertain, and only time will tell if this fragile reunion is a mistake or a chance at redemption. Did you enjoy the story? Want more? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more wild and unhinged Reddit stories. Your support means a lot and helps my channel grow.